Okay. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. You are obviously in Common Accessibility Questions by Online Learners. Come on. There we go. I have a slide right now that says forward-looking statement. It says statements regarding our product development initiatives, including new products and future product upgrades, updates, or enhancements represent our current intentions, but may be modified, delayed, or abandoned without prior notice. And there is no assurance that such offering, upgrades, updates, or functionality will become available unless and until they have been made generally available to our customers. I am required to put this slide in by my legal department, so thank you for having some patience with it. And what are we going to discuss in the next few minutes? Quick introduction, the goals of this presentation, a quick overview of assistive technologies, and then some challenges and options that your learners might have when they're coming into a virtual environment. Who am I? My name is Elizabeth Simister. I am the Product Accessibility Manager at Blackboard, and I am in charge of making sure that people can use our products with assistive technologies. There's a screen emoji, Bitmoji, whatever you want to call it here, of myself. I have brown hair, green eyes, and I wear glasses. So that's who I am. So quick poll, how many people in this session are using a learning management system? And I am sure that there are a number of you. So just a quick thumbs up, thumbs down, yes, no, that's enough. And I guess most people. Okay. And the next question. How many people are familiar with the term assistive technology? There again, I'm going to guess that a lot of you are familiar with this term. Yep. Okay. So the goals for this session, understanding the types of assistive technologies that students might be using, the challenges that these students face when they're in a new course or learning environment, and how to support these students using assistive technology beyond providing accessible content. So when we think about a learning environment and we're thinking about things like providing PDFs or videos, audio files, what is beyond those types of content to make sure that people have at least a good, if not great, experience when they're learning online. So there is an overview of some of the assistive technologies that I definitely get questions about. JAWS is typically number 1. Dragon Naturally Speaking is number 2. I put Read and Write, which is literacy software, but I also get questions on Read Aloud, Read Speaker, and Kurzweil. Those are definitely tools that a lot of students and sometimes instructors use as well in order to help them with their online learning. So the first challenge that I hear constantly, especially late August, early September, as a screen reader user who is new to your course, how will I be able to find the information that I need? And on this slide, I have a screenshot. For some of you, this may be familiar. It is our Learn Original product and a course view of that. So the question is, how would you explain the course structure to this student if they have never used the learning management system that you have at your institution? What would that student need to know when they go into that? If anybody has any thoughts, please feel free to put them into either the Q&A or the chat.
Elizabeth, I also want to offer, if you're fine with it, if anyone would like to voice their answer, I'm happy to unmute them. Just do the raise hand feature. I'll give that opportunity to them as well, if that's all right with you.
Okay. So if anybody, how would you explain what your course is like to somebody who can't see it? Navigation, menus, layout, yes, definitely. Anyone else?
Greg would like to give an answer, and I'm going to allow for him to talk. Go ahead, Greg.
Sorry about that. They would, for a screen reader user, they would need to know the most important links to the page. So you navigate to this to specific links on a web page to be able to navigate through.
Yeah, exactly. You definitely want to describe that key navigation, right? Because that's how someone is going to be able to, first of all, know where they are in the application, where they are in the MLS. Mention them in a video course introduction. I like that. Describe any key content types. So, you know, are there learning modules, right? What does a learning module mean? It means that you may have to do an extra click in order to get into content. The order that you've added the content into your course so that they have a basic idea of what they're going to hear and when. So even if you're adding something new every week, as long as they know that you're adding something new every week and that you're going to add it to the top of your content list or to the bottom, that's going to help them find that information so much faster. Structures as heading lists and landmarks, yes, because definitely some students can use shortcuts to hear the headings, and then they can navigate that way, or they can navigate through landmarks. Those are definitely great things to help students figure out how to interact with that course if they've never been in that course before. 2, I find it difficult to participate in discussions and forums with my assistive technology. I will acknowledge there are some issues with our discussions in our original version. And I do have a screenshot here of what that discussion thread looks like in our original system. So my question, what are some of the challenges that students might have with discussions? And again, please feel free to either go vocal, put it in chat or QA. Too many links with the same subject? Yes. Anyone else? Okay. So one of the things that I discovered going into our application once is that, oh, somebody, yep, images are content that was shared in real time. Someone had actually accidentally uploaded an image that did not have alternative text. So if images are a critical part of that discussion and they do not have alternative text, you're going to leave some students out of that discussion. So one of the things I would recommend is kind of showing students how to use the tools in the content editor to create accessible content for their peers. So if you upload an image, show students how to add alternative text to that, because most content editors now have the ability to add alternative text. Screen reader can't read or interact with the posts. Yes, we've definitely had issues where screen readers can't read or interact with the posts. Sometimes that's a matter of understanding interesting workarounds. It's difficult to understand what's a reply to a discussion. Yes, there's definitely those types of issues. So what do we have when it's just, there's so much information, it all sounds the same. One of the things we can do is provide that student with a Word document or similar simplified format that kind of lists the discussions so they have some kind of context around what's happening in those, and then give them an alternative way to reply to those discussions, right? Because if they're having a hard time getting in and understanding, then they need something else to be able to interact and feel like they're fully interacting. So the third challenge that we have, help. Every time I leave Blackboard to respond to a question using Word, I can't get back into the text. And on this slide, I have two screenshots. I have one that says instructions, force completion. Once started, this test must be completed in one sitting. Do not leave the test before clicking save and submit. And then I have another screenshot that says, you've completed this test. You have already taken the 15 allowed attempts. Uh-oh. Why might it be important to allow a student to use an alternative format like Word when taking a test? Any thoughts? Internet may crash. Yes. And that's a very good point for any online user. The alternative format will work better with their assistive technology. The one place you don't want external cognitive overload is during an exam. MLS or MindTap may not be accessible. Yep, they're using Dragon. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that is very good reasons. One of the things that personally I like about being able to use something like Word rather than trying to use a content editor is that you can do spell and grammar check, and it's a little bit more obvious sometimes in a Word document than if I'm trying to use the content. Yeah, maybe working through an assistive technology learning curve, absolutely 100%, right? One of the recommendations, communicate with the student prior to the exam that it is a timed or forced completion, right? And make sure that student has the appropriate accommodations. That is critical. In the previous, section, I showed where somebody, they were trying to use Word, they're in a forced completed, so they leave to go use Word, and they cannot finish the exam because it's forced completed. So make sure that one, you have that accommodation set. And then make sure that a student can upload the content, like a Word document, into that test, or allow them another method to be able to submit answers outside of Blackboard or whatever MLS you're using. Because that way, they are still showing you that they are able to do the work. They are still showing you that they have an understanding of the content, but they're doing it in a way that works best for them. One of the other important things around this is what we've learned in the last 20 months now. Not everybody has a stable internet connection either. Back to the point of, yeah, if somebody's internet crashes while they're trying to take that exam and they can put the content into another format, that helps everybody, not just those using assistive technologies. So it's really good to understand that sometimes we need alternatives. And it's not just to help those students with assistive technologies, it can be for everyone. So the fourth challenge that we sometimes get is in a setting like Zoom, right? People are using whiteboards and they're writing all over the place. I can't understand the instructor when the whiteboard is used. For somebody who may be low vision or has color impairments, or they are using a screen reader, or they have certain types of cognitive impairments, right? If somebody's writing something in that board, just using the automated, using the tool that's in there, the edit tool, it may not be readable. So on this slide, I have a screenshot of a whiteboard with some blue lines that are kind of curvy, and it says ocean waves. So for students who have difficulty seeing or hearing, what are some of the challenges that they might face if a whiteboard is used as part of your class?